Welcome to another presentation of the Solid Sports Video Blog. This is episode 182. Today's date is May 28th, 2022. I'm Troy Westhead. Thank you for watching. And once again, appreciate all the support I've been getting with the channel lately. Special shout out to supportive people that's been in my life, especially the last week, the last few weeks. Helping Hearts 88. She has a YouTube channel. I'm gonna put it in the description. Go check out. She's a very smart woman, very interesting woman as well, so definitely go check out. But we talk a little bit behind the scenes, and she gives a lot of positive energy, so I thank her for that. And a personal friend of mine, Yvette Shockley, she's been there for me the last few weeks. We known each other for a long time, but we lost contact, and now we're back in contact again. So she's been a real big positive influence on me. Honestly, without you two ladies, I don't know where I would be, like far as like mentally right now. So I have to definitely thank you guys. Shout out to again, Good Vibes. He joined me on the live stream, the MLB stream last week. I'm gonna try to get a video in with that today for him. He's a Rockies fan, so I'm gonna try to play with the Colorado Rockies today and post that, so hopefully he can check that out. But a lot of people like live streams. I don't go live that often, but I try to go live more. It's just hard to because I'm doing it around work and everything. But I try to do another live stream soon, maybe with something else, so look out for that. And also Walker Like Johnny, he's been a supporter on my PSN network, PlayStation Network, so we finally got the first day figured out because he wanted to be personal first, which I don't really mind. Like once I get to know him a little bit, maybe we can do that, you know. But I usually like to keep that with family and people that I know. But if I get to know you more, then that's fine. We can, that can happen. I just want to take things, just be cautious because you don't know what people's motives are. So that's all that was. But he's real active on the PlayStation Network, which I'm normally not either. But I try to be more active on that. Check out people on the network. But so I wanted to shout out all those people because they've been, especially the last week, been very, very positive. But we got a big show today, so I definitely don't want to waste too much time because I only get an hour. So Major League Baseball, I want to touch on the Astros, how they've been playing. They back in first place in the AL West where they belong. It seems like they've dominated that division the last few years. They're there again. And I want to touch on a little bit on well, the two shootings I didn't really talk about. I usually try to stay out of, well, even though this is not politics, this is tragedies. But it always ties into politics. The Buffalo shooting that was a few weeks ago. And everybody heard about the Texas shooting with the little children at the elementary school. That was terrible. But the Giants manager, San Francisco Giants manager, basically he's protesting against the national anthem as he stays in the dugout, I believe. Until it's over. But I think he's pushing for gun laws. So I give my little quick thought on that. I'm not going to I usually try to stay out of stuff like that because everybody have their own opinion. If you disagree with them, it just get messy. And I'm not that type of guy. I believe that you can still disagree and still be cordial, be friends, and things of that nature. But I have to give my thoughts on it. NBA playoffs, what a win by the Miami Heat last night. I ain't gonna lie, I buried them. I thought they was gonna fold, but Jimmy Butler, that's why I believe the Heat had a chance to win this series. And now that it's a game 7, you gotta give them a chance. Boston, we'll talk about that though. And the Lakers hired a new head coach, Donovan Ham, was hired as Lakers head coach. LeBron seems to like it. So I think that's all that matters really. As long as LeBron gets along with him, I think that's what's going to matter. But we'll touch on that as well. And then our NFL Roundabout Series continues. Our second division we're going to look at is the AFC East. So that's the Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, and Jets. We'll look at those 4 teams deeply today, and I think next week is we're gonna stay in the AFC. We're gonna go south. I think I was gonna go north first, but we're trying to save the stronger divisions for last. So I think we're gonna go south because the AFC South is sort of flimsy this year. The NFC South also. So then the North and the West we're safe for last. I think they're probably the strongest. Well, as far as the NFC probably not. But the AFC North is going to be strong, and then both West divisions are strong, and both NFC and AFC. So that's the order we're going to go in. So let's talk about the baseball now. Let's get that out the way. The Astros in first place again in the American League East. American League West, excuse me. I always try to put out one team. Angels starting to slip a little bit. With the Astros, I know they got some scandals around them with the side stealing scandal and all that stuff, but for them to still doing what they're doing now with basically a whole new regime, almost a whole new team now, because a lot of guys are gone. Out of really Altuve, it's pretty much a whole different team. So, like I said, cheating is cheating. Like I said, it's not that I'm for cheating. The side stealing to me is like, if you know what pitch is coming, of course you have an advantage. And the way they did it was electronically. So yeah, I believe they should have got pops for it. But it makes a difference. But look, they still winning. They still won after the fact. It's been they did it in 2017. It's 2022, so 5 years ago. Of course, they got their championship off of it. So that's the thing. They haven't won a championship since. So, but they've been to the World Series since. Just haven't won, so they a formidable team. Like I said, they got younger. Like I said, Correa is gone. George Springer's gone. So they was 2 big pieces. But Alex Bregman's still there. The Jose Altuve still there. So that's, to me, still, but the young outfielder, trying to look him up now. But see, the pitcher staff is different. Like, other than Verlander, the pitcher staff is completely different. Jordan Alvarez, I like his game. Young left fielder. Kyle Tucker's pretty good. Yuri Gurriel. Like I said, Bregman and Altuve, they the guys. Hey, Altuve 32. Okay, I didn't know that. But I like this team. They're gonna be a contender again in the American League. Yankees though still rolling. In the East, they up 20 games up. 20 games over 500. They 6.5 up already, as they making some room now in that division. But it's Tampa and Toronto, which I predicted. Orioles, my Orioles, I gotta give my Orioles a shout out too. They just saved different this year. Yeah, they still in last place. They had 19 of 27, but they definitely a better team this year. They fight more. The pitching holds up a little bit, even though they gave up 8 runs yesterday. But they was down 8-2. Usually when they down, that's it. They're not coming back. But they came all the way back from that deficit. So I just see more of a fight in the Orioles this year. Might not make the playoffs, but I'm hoping they can push, maybe give us a little tease for the wild card. Be close to 500 this year, even though they 8 under right now. But I just like the fight the Orioles have in them. Central Minnesota with a big a big lead over the White Sox. I said the West, Houston. And the Angels. National League, Mets still quietly rolling 30-17. They'll be on national TV tonight, so check them out as they play the Phillies. I like the Phillies too, even though they 4 under. My Braves are 2 under. Braves got to get together. Brewers still doing strong. St. Louis right there, but then everybody else is pretty much out of it. And then you got Dodgers, Padres, and San Francisco. So that's the baseball news I wanted to get into. But to touch on the Giants manager, I think, like I said, well, just to touch on the tragedies first. Both of them is lawless. Like the one in Buffalo was racially motivated. The one in Texas, we don't know what his motivation was. I don't get it. To go just kill some kids, I mean, these things starting to come out. You know, he was a young man, probably had some problems. He shot his grandmother. Maybe his grandmother be able to give us some light. I mean, even though that's not going to bring the people back, but just the senseless violence. I mean, period, you have to stop it. It's the people. I don't blame the guns. I mean, having stronger gun laws might be good, but of course it's against the law to murder. It's against the law to do things. If you want to hurt people, you're going to find other ways to do it. You know, the gun ain't the only way you can hurt people with. So, and a lot of people really strongly believe in their Second Amendment right, especially down south, especially in Texas. You know, they have the NRA convention down there, and it's a lot of controversy around that. They said they should have canceled it and things like that. But like I said, I think you should have a right to carry a firearm because you might feel safer, even though it don't matter if you don't win the gunfight. Still, but at least you got a chance. You know what I mean. So it's gonna be it's just a bad situation. But me, as far as where I stand on, as far as the gun laws, like I said, I don't think making them stronger is gonna really change anything. You got to get to the root, like who's selling the guns, especially if they're illegal. I heard somebody say today, I think on the news, you know, just make it harder to get the gun. But you know, it's just you can't, you know, like it's I think you really can't stop it unless you stop, you know, the people, you know, or like in this situation, like why, you know, the ATO, Texas, why did he do it? You know, try to get to the bottom of things. You know, people, I don't know, people just deal with things the wrong way. Like, I don't know what's wrong with that young man, but obviously something was wrong with him. And we need to start, coming together as a nation, period. Like, just start loving each other more. Like I said, I've dealt with depression myself, and I never thought about going around hurting just random people. Like, you know, I thought about hurting myself, which is not a good thing, and I realized that that's not good to think that way. You just never know who you're gonna hurt, you know, by doing that to yourself. And I realized, even though sometimes I feel very insignificant, I feel like it's a bigger thing. It's bigger than me, and maybe that's probably part of my problem because I'm always thinking about others. But I feel like, you know, if I did that to myself, you don't know who that might trigger somebody else to do it, or it might trigger somebody to go hurt other people. You just never know where the chain of events gets set off. I have family members that's struggling with things. You know, they might hurt themselves, you know, or, you know, they got children. Not saying that they would, but you just don't never know. You know, and some people are just assholes too. Like, it's just some people out here, it's just evil. You know what I mean? So, as far as deep into it, like, I don't want to get deep into the politics part of it and all that, you know, the money, because everything's about money. Everything. Like, that's probably one of America's biggest flaws. Everything, the dollar comes first. It comes before lives, it comes before all that other stuff. People can say what they want, go out there, say whatever, but it comes down to the almighty dollar in America. People don't put that as a priority. You got to start putting safety as a priority. People as a priority, just period, not money. Like, yeah, you need money to do things, but if you don't care about the people that you're doing it for, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? So that's where I stand on it, you know, just a general statement. Like I said, but as far as me, what I stand for, what I believe in, I don't, unless somebody asks me, I don't really get into it, because my religious beliefs is sort of weird, I guess you would call it, or people don't agree with. There's a lot of things people don't agree with me, where I stand. I just stand as a man and as principles. Like, everything else to me is debatable. But it's a tragedy, both situations. The Buffalo situation for sure, because I'm a black man, and you know, my city, I'm in Baltimore. Like, we kill each other every day, all day. We order track to break our murder record, which is not enough to be proud of, but it's just crazy here. Every time I go outside, I'm looking around. You shouldn't have to do that. You should live life freely. But unfortunately, you can't. You gotta be careful. Just to go to the store or just to do simple things. So, but as far as to get back to Gabe Kapler, the manager for the Giants, his stat, I'm not not going to criticize it. If that's what he believe in, and this is America, that's another thing we got to learn. Stop try to start, if somebody just talk to, well, of course you can't talk to them, but just respect somebody's choice. Sometimes you just got to do that. You don't have to agree, just respect their choice. When you get a chance, voice your opinion and leave it at that. If you can't come to an agreement, you can't. But only thing I disagree with him on is why he's doing it, like the gun laws. If that's what that's what they say, why he think the gun laws out of control. But overall, like I said, we need to stop. We need to stop it. Alright, so let's move on to the NBA playoffs. Big win, like I said, for the Miami Heat last night. Like I said, I was wrong. That's probably why my video started trending. Well, not trending, but it got more views when I previewed the game last night. I said Boston was going to close it out, and they didn't. Miami, Jimmy Butler, man, I told you. I don't know what was wrong with him the last 3 or 4 games or whatever, but he's capable of doing, when he had 47 points. This was unbelievable. Jason Tatum played well, but what happened to him in the fourth quarter? Well, to me, the whole game, you only took 12 shots. I don't understand it. He played 45 minutes, so he was out there the whole game. You should have definitely got up 12 more than 12 shots. As far as Miami, I still don't like Bam giving you 6. He's got to be more aggressive on the offensive end. But Game 7 is going to be interesting Sunday. I have no idea who's going to win. I'm not even going to make a full prediction. I stay with Miami because that's who I picked, but it wouldn't surprise me if Boston blows them out or if Miami blows them out. It's just been a real weird, inconsistent series, period, by both teams. But like I said, the truth is Boston is the deeper, better team. But you can't even use the turnover excuse no more for the Heat. For the Heat, because they actually won the turnover battle, I believe, by 1, and they still won the game. Because people said Boston only won. Miami only won those games because of turnover, which is true, the first 2 games. But this was just a beating. Miami just outplayed the Celtics. They just wanted it more. You're back against the wall, so I guess you would. But so a hell of a performance by the Heat. Jimmy Butler again, like I said, proceed. The negative thing about that is somebody else got to step up. Who else going to step up for him? And that's the thing. They need somebody else to be a consistent scorer, and I think it has to be Bam, even though Boston is good defensively inside, but he's going to start. Kyle Lowry came through. I gotta give his props to Kyle Lowry. Been a shell of himself until last night. He played well. If you give you that again, I think Victor Oladipo need to play more. That's just my opinion too. For the Heat, I think he's almost back to his normal self as well. So if he gets more action, maybe. Excuse me. I think I don't know. I would honestly, but Matt Strus has played well. I would say I would start him and bring Matt Strus off the bench. But I don't know, but this, like I said, I flip a coin. That's basically how I feel about this game. But congratulations to the Golden State Warriors, though. They made it. They clinched Thursday night with the Mavericks winning in 5. And they got home court. I think somebody was trying to say if Miami won, I think they was going off seeding, but I think it don't matter when you get to the finals. You got the better record, even if you could be a 5th seed in the West and play the 1 seed in the East. If you got a better record, you still get home court. So the Warriors have home court regardless of who win the series. So they must have had a better record than both, because Miami only won 53 games. I think Boston won 51 games. So even though they was 1-2 in the East. I think the first 3 or 4 teams would still have better records in the Western Conference. So, but congratulations to the Warriors, 6 time out of 8 years. Like I think I said on my short yesterday, if it's Boston, I think that'd be an interesting series for the Warriors because how Boston can play defensively. I think they can match up. Shut down Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Bit streaky. He had a monster game in Game 5, but he's a little streaky. And then after that, Jordan Poole, he could come give him a spark, but I think everybody else, like even Draymond offensively, I don't know what they're going to do, but then, who's going to guard Brown or Tatum, So I think Boston will give them a better series, honestly. I think if it's the Heat, though, I think it'll basically be how hot the Warriors get. If the Warriors shoot themselves out the game, that's how Miami can win. And Jimmy Butler might do his thing still, but like I said, they would need. Now I think Bam will have to dominate. If it's Miami playing, I think he will have to dominate because they take care of that weakness. Like I said, the Warriors, even though Kevin Looney has been outstanding in that Dallas series, but overall, he's not a great rim protector. So I think Bam can go inside and dominate and force the Warriors. But the Warriors, they make adjustments. They got that championship, that championship pedigree, so they might get adjust to that and still win the series. So I guess what I'm saying is, I guess the Warriors would be favored no matter what. But I think if it's Boston, I think they can pose more problems than Miami, because Miami basically it'd be a shooting contest. So you don't want to get a shooting contest with the Warriors, so you're just not going to win that. I think that's what Miami will wind up falling into. But that's why I said Bam will have to be the guy to get them over. But it should be a good series regardless. I think it will at least go 6, no matter who it is. I'll make my decision. Matter of fact, might do a special blog to preview the NBA Finals. I think I will. Probably it'll be at night, probably like Tuesday night, because I think it start Thursday, right? Yeah, I think game 1 is Thursday, so I probably maybe Wednesday night I'll come on and do a special. And then every night after the game over, I probably, get my quick thoughts on the game. So that's what I might do there. Alright, so that's the latest on the playoffs. Congratulations again to the Warriors. Mavs, y'all had a good season. I'm a Luka fan. Hopefully they can do something in the off season to get Luka some more help. So I'm a Dallas fan, so I think they'll be still there next year. The West is going to be stronger, as so is the East. So next year, even though not to look so far ahead, it's going to be another great NBA season. Speaking of next year, the LA Lakers made their decision on their head coach, Donovan Ham, former assistant for the Milwaukee Bucks, gets the job for the Lakers. LeBron James did tweet that he liked the hire, so to me that's enough. Like I said, I don't know much about Donovan Ham as a coach, but as a player, he was on that championship Detroit Pistons teams in 04. He was a guy off the bench, 30, did the dirty work, could hit a key shot here and there. He was a decent player in the league. I don't know if that much about him as a coach, but I'm guessing if LeBron gave his blessing, he might know him a little bit. But with the Lakers, we're going to see what they do with Russell Westbrook. Is he going to stay there next year? I think the brass are leaning towards keeping him, like what you've been hearing lately. They want to try to keep him because it's going to be hard to trade him. He got $47 million on the books, so it's going to be hard to trade him for the reality, to be honest. Like, ain't nobody going to want to trade for him. And I don't see him taking less money or anything like that. But I think if the Lakers I think it could work, but I think Westbrook would have to play off the ball more. I think a lot of people say make him a role player, and that's true, but I mean, is he willing to accept that? Because I think he would be a great bench player or somebody, or when LeBron's not in the game, let him do his thing. But I think you got to surround, with LeBron and the rest of around shooters. You got to have consistent 3-4 shooters. And Anthony Davis gotta play better, man. Like regardless, I think he's starting to hide under the radar again. They put everything on rest. Like Anthony, even though Anthony he was hurt, I give him that he was hurt, but he since they won that championship in the bubble, he hasn't just haven't brung it, man. To see like he ain't motivated. So he has to play better, clearly. So a lot of his name should be coming up more too about blame. But one thing I can say, so what nobody say top 5 anymore. Ain't nobody say he's a top 5 player in the league anymore, and he's not right now the way he's playing, to be honest. So I think the Lakers, they say they're talented, but in the West, like I said, you can't play around. You gotta just can't. You got too many good teams in the West, so. We'll see what they do, but congratulations to him. He's another brother getting a job, getting a coaching job, so that's a good thing as well. Hopefully he's not just a pawn. Like I said, I don't know Donovan Ham. He don't look like he'd be a guy that just go along to get it, but whatever. He had a good interview, reports say. But I didn't know Phil Jackson was involved until now. He's involved, so. They a mess, in the front office too, so we'll see. But LeBron, I still believe in LeBron despite how old he is. I still think Russell Westbrook got something left. I still think Anthony Davis is a great player. So with just that alone, you just got to try to make it work. LeBron should be the primary ball handler. That's just obvious. Like, you don't have to know about basketball to know that he got to have the ball in his hands, be the facilitator. I think Russell got to play off ball a little bit. And then maybe, since LeBron get older, LeBron don't play as many minutes. When LeBron's out the game, have Westbrook handle the ball. So that's that. That's my opinion on that. Congratulations to Mr. Ham. Like I said, I know him. Like I said, I remember as a player, he was a good player, especially in that Detroit team from '04. He was a key part of them winning that championship. So congratulations to him. We'll see if this will be a better situation for the Lakers going forward. Alright, now without further ado, it's time to get into our roundabout series. The AFC East is up, so we got to go check that out. We're going to pull up all 14 schedules. I'm going to give you my quick thoughts on them in alphabetical order, so this is not the order I think the East will go next year, even though a lot of people might think so. But which is weird because when I did the East last week, it pretty much was the order a lot of people think it might go to, other than the Giants maybe, because the Eagles and the Cowboys are probably clearly the two best teams in the NFC East. So we will do the AFC East today. We'll do the AFC South next week, which is the Titans, Colts, Jags, and the Texans. And then we go to the NFC South the week after that. So, alright, so we got the Bills up first. The Buffalo Bills had a great season last year, last 2 seasons. Josh Allen has been huge for this team. I think he's improved it every year. I think them getting Stephon Diggs, now this is second season to be his third season, help Josh Allen development. But let's look at their schedule first. A lot of people picking them maybe to make the Super Bowl. I can't argue with that too much. I think this could be the year. They got Von Miller in the offseason, so they made some huge moves. So, alright, so they start off the season. Literally start off the season. Thursday Night Football. Rams celebrate their championship. The Bills will be their opponent in Los Angeles. That's a huge game. Titans next after that at home. Then they go back on the road to Miami. And then they come to Baltimore, come here and play the Ravens, week 4. Then they got Pittsburgh at home. Then at Kansas City. That'll be 2 tough games. They got a tough schedule though, looking at it. Green Bay comes to Buffalo. That's a Sunday night game. Bills at Jets. Then Minnesota comes to Buffalo. Then they get Cleveland at home. Then they go to Detroit, and then New England after that. New England, that's a Thursday night game. The Detroit game is Thanksgiving, early to 12:30 start. So that's the last traditional Thanksgiving game, so they're the opponent this year for that. Then the Jets at home, then the then the Dolphins at home for Buffalo. Then they go to Chicago, play the Bears. Then they go to Cincinnati, but then they're at home for the final game of the season against the Buffalo Bills. The Cincinnati game is Monday night game as well. So, like I said, I liked what the Bills did. Can their defense improve? Like, that's why they got Von Miller. Maybe to get some pressure out on the edge. They got Jamison Crowder, so they improved the receivers. OJ Howard is now a part of this team. Okay, so they made some big moves. I didn't know that. I didn't know OJ Howard came here. Like I said, I knew about Von Miller. Yeah, see, this defense, right? Yeah. So they made some improvements, and I don't know how they did in the draft. I didn't hear too much about what they did in the draft, but on paper, they'd probably be able to compete. They'd be, I think they clearly the best team in the division. I think Miami and New England, probably two decent teams, but still can't put them over the Bills right now. So I like Buffalo going into the season. They question about, like I said, can Josh Allen take that next step, the elite step? Can he be an elite quarterback in this league? If so, that'll definitely go a long way for the Bills this season. And like I said, the defense can hold up at key times. Last year in the playoff game against Kansas City, you see what happened there. But I think the Bills got a chance. Well, they got a tough schedule though, but I think they got a chance to get the 1 seed. If they get the 1 seed, you got to come to Buffalo. That might help as well. Another quiet thing to me, I think they running game is a little bit suspect to me as well. I know Josh Allen is basically runs the ball too. They play a lot of read option, but I think either Zach Moss or Singletary, they did get through. So they got a lot of running backs here on the roster. So probably some of these guys will be gone, but they need a solid number one guy, to carry the rock. They can establish who that guy is. I think that'll improve the whole offense. So with the Bills are going to be formidable. I can't argue with a Super Bowl appearance is possible. AFC pretty much to me, it's them, it's Kansas City as always. I'm not saying just a Ravens fan, but I think the Ravens are formidable as well. Cincinnati, they're going to be right there again if they improve the offensive line. So, but after that, everybody else to me is in a, as you just roll the dice. It's potential teams like the Chargers getting talked about a lot. Denver is definitely going to be better with Russell Wilson. So it's deep, but I think the teams I just named, Kansas City, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Buffalo, I think they're the clear 4 top teams. Pittsburgh's a wild card if they get good quarterback play as well. Cleveland, with the talent, if Deshaun Watson, we'll see how many games he get, but Cleveland's going to be formidable. So it's not no real terrible teams in the top part of the AFC. It's really, like I said, that's why I'm going to do the South, because I was going to do the North. I'm going to do the South because the AFC South is definitely clearly the weakest division in the AFC. But I like the Bills' chances, though. I think they're going to have a great year again. And I think they're going to have some adversity because of the schedule. So, as long as they stay injury-free. All right, so let's look at the Dolphins now real quick. Here we go. They played New England first this season. And the Dolphins been in the news lately because, everybody been talking about Tua again. And Tyreek Hill, is he going to miss Patrick Mahomes? So I don't know about all that, but we'll see. All right, come on. I'm trying to get this schedule up here. There we go. Okay. So they're in New England. Well, no, New England comes to Miami. That'd be an interesting game. That'd be a huge game in that division. Go a long way. Then they come to Baltimore, play the Ravens. Then Buffalo comes to Miami. Then they go to Cincinnati and New York Jets. Then they come back home for the Vikings and the Steelers. And they go to Detroit for the Lions. Lions got a lot of good home games this year. We'll look at the Lions when it's time to. They'll be an interesting team this year. Then they go to Chicago, face the Bears. Then come back home for the Browns and the Houston Texans. Then they go to San Francisco, play the Niners. That'll be an interesting game. At LA, I was about to call them San Diego Chargers. LA Chargers. Then at Buffalo. Come home for Green Bay. Go to New England. And then they back home for the New York Jets. So that's their schedule this year. Of course, the biggest question for the Dolphins is Tua. You know, everybody been talking about him again this week. Well, this time of year, he had a lot of positivity. He's heard he's doing well. Tyreek Hill came out, said some good things about him. You know, that's been that's the little cloud that's going over their head right now. You know, people say Tyreek Hill just wanted some more money. So that's why he left Kansas City. But for Tua's credit, like I said, he hasn't played long, so I think to evaluate him now is unfair. He haven't played that much, but this is a big year for him for sure. If he struggles, people gonna question him then. The Tyreek Hill thing, like I said, Tyreek Hill was phenomenal. So I don't care what quarterback you have. I think if you give him the ball in his hands, he's dynamic with the football. I think I've run him on some jet sweeps or anything. Just get the ball in his hands. I think he would be a factor for this Miami offense. You still got Jason Waddle. Now defensively, let me check out their defense. But defensively, you know, I think they was pretty decent last year. But they got Teddy Bridgewater on the roster, so you know. But they running backs, Shoney Michel and Chase Edmonds. I like both of those guys. They got Mostert as well, so they got us through a running back. So they might just try to run the ball down your throat. Those three guys alone could start almost any. I mean, they could get some starting jobs in the NFL. So offense, they definitely all in on offense. Well, the offensive line was bad, so hopefully that'll be better for Tua this year. He had more time to throw the football. But I think, you know, the way this roster look, you're going to use those running backs. So, like I said, defensively, you know, Marvin Ingram III is now part of the team. But the defense was pretty decent, so I think if the defense played anything like they did last year, they'd be fine. But the Dolphins are an interesting team. I think they have the talent to maybe finish number 2 in this division. It's going to be between them and New England. I think Buffalo, like I said, is the clear number 1. But the biggest question mark for the Dolphins will go into next season is Tua. Is he going to improve? But I think now that I'm looking at this running back stable, you could just run the ball. Run the ball. If your offensive line can hold up, run the football, and then play action. I think that should be the Dolphins' plan. But yeah, but that's the biggest question for Miami. Can Tua improve? And if he does, well, Tyreek Hill, is he really a diva? Is he gonna get upset if he don't get the ball? Those type of things, I guess, are question marks for the Dolphins. But I think overall, their roster look very, very strong. They made a lot of improvements, and but I still don't think they're gonna challenge Buffalo for the division. But they could be second if things go right. And they made a big push. You see how they made a big push in the last year. Wind Carson, Brian Flores' job, which I don't understand. But yeah, so that's the Dolphins. Let's go to the Patriots now. I was just with that. Could have just stayed there. Look at their schedule. And they got pretty much of the same questions. Matt Jones. Is Matt Jones going to make a jump? Been rumors about Bill Belichick maybe being more involved in the offense. Since they lost Josh McDaniels, I don't know. Trying to pull up their schedule now, though. Here we go. Okay, let's look at their schedule real quick. Of course, we said Miami because we just looked at their schedule. They play the Dolphins first on the road. Then they go to Pittsburgh, so they're on the road the first 2 games. Then they come home for the Baltimore Ravens. Then they back on the road for Green Bay. So 3 out of the first 4 games on the road. Then they get Detroit at home. Then back on the road again to Cleveland. So there got to be a home stretch coming up somewhere. Come home for Chicago. That's Monday night. At New York Jets. Home for Indy. And Jets come to New England. Then they go to Minnesota. That's a Sunday night game. Thursday night game, Bills at Patriots. Then they go to Arizona. That's a Monday night game. Then a Sunday night game. So a lot of primetime games. Well, Patriots used to that when Brady was there. So Sunday night in Las Vegas to face the Raiders. Then they home for Cincinnati. Home for the Dolphins. And then they on the road in the season against Buffalo. Like I just said, Patriots, Mac Jones, he's the biggest question mark. Because his defense hold up, losing a lot of key guys. Stephen Gilmore, losing the guys they lost. Could that defense still be formidable like they were last year? Receiver core to me is still kind of weak. But they drafted some guys. So hopefully they'll work out. Running backs as well. Like I said, defensively they lost some people. So it's kind of a different team going into next year. And maybe that's why people say maybe they might take a step backwards. But I don't like I said, if Mac Jones, if he improves, then a quarterback could get you, could erase a lot of problems, if you got a good quarterback. But like I said, a lot of people believe in Bill Belichick that no matter who he got on defense, he can put a great defense on the field. If so, the Patriots would be fine. But honestly, after I looked at both rosters, I'm leaning Dolphins. But like I said, I got a chance to make that decision later. But I'm leaning Dolphins to probably finish second in the division. Alright, let's look at the Jets real quick so we can go ahead and wrap this video up. Jets. They played the Ravens, so they played my team first. Alright, I hate when this takes so long for these rosters to come up. Come on. Whew, there we go, finally, Alright, like I said, let's run through the schedule real quick. That they at home for the Ravens to open the season. Then they go to Cleveland, play the Browns. Home for Cincinnati. Then back on the road for Pittsburgh. Then they got to play the Dolphins again. Oh no, it's their first time playing the Dolphins. I'm sorry. At home. At Green Bay following week. Then at Denver. That'd be a tough game. New England at home. Buffalo at home. Then in New England again on the road. Then they got the Bears at home. I don't think I've seen any primetime games yet. If I did, I apologize. No, not yet. I'm sure they probably at least get one Thursday game. at Minnesota, then at Buffalo, then at home for Detroit. Here's the prime, the only one they got this year. Thursday night they host Jacksonville, then they go to Seattle on New Year's Day, and then finish off the season at Miami for the Jets. For the Dolphins, excuse me. The Jets, where do you start? They got a lot of problems. They're improving. Let's pull up their roster too. Zach Wilson, you heard some positive stuff about it. You always hear positive stuff. That he put on some weight and he feels good and all this other stuff. Hopefully he can improve. He will get the start though. My man Joe Flacco on the roster though. I was telling somebody laughing about that. I think they said they did okay in the draft. But nobody jumps out at you on the roster. But I don't know. The Jets, like in the NFL, you gotta sometimes, go through a year or two of some growing pains, and then hope you could get a free agent here and there to improve the team. They clearly, still building, but if this Jack Wilson guy, young kid, if he improves, maybe they'd be a little bit more competitive. But the Jets, they showed some fight last year. They showed some fight under Robert Saleh. I like him. I think they should stick with him. I like what he did. Just like I was just talking about Orioles. They had fight. The Jets, they had fight. They was in a lot of games. I remember, last year, despite them having a bad record, they wasn't getting blown out the water every week. They was in games. They just, gotta learn how to win. And sometimes it take a year too. So, not saying they could be a surprise, but I just think, just like last year, like the Lions as well. I think they got the right coaches there. You guys gotta be patient with them, and I think they'd be decent in the future. But this year, I don't see the Jets doing too much of nothing again. But I think they'd be a competitive team. Be fun to watch sometimes, but hopefully the Zach Wilson news pays dividends, but it don't mean nothing until you get to the regular season. So alright, so that's my thoughts on the AFC East. Next week, like I said, we'll do the AFC South, Titans, Colts, Texans, and Jags. Of course, it'll be alphabetical order though. We'll do those 4 teams next week as we continue our roundabout series. So I'm about to wrap up this video. I know I'm probably close to running out of time. Once again, just some final thoughts. So what's coming up with the channel, I'm gonna try to take a little nap, do the MLB the show video today, with the Colorado Rockies and the Miami Marlins. It won't be live this time, this will be taped, but I will do it for my man Good Vibes. Shout out to him again. Like I said, special shout out again to my friend Yvette and my friend Helping Hearts 888. I'll put her YouTube channel in the description of the video, so go check out. Like I said, support our channel. Our channel's growing too. It's been growing. Like when I first met her and seen her for myself, I think she had about 120. Now she's over 300. So the channel is growing big time. So I told her I was proud of her for that, and I was seeing that. So but as far as that, no more guns going cannoli, but I appreciate all the speaking of walking like Johnny, I think he's been pushing that. He must be a big fan of guns going cannoli. But like I said, I might do something with that again. I might do a live video of that, like a gauntlet, if I have time. That's what I kind of want to do, start it from the beginning and just play it out, play a gauntlet. So that might be a possibility. Like I said, as far as new projects, nothing new probably until June. I'm thinking about doing King of Fighters. I've never been a King of Fighters fan, but I like fighting games. I don't have a lot of fighting games on my channel, really nothing new. I was thinking about doing some Street Fighter 5. I do have Street Fighter 5, but I think I might check out this King of Fighters and play that and put it on the channel. It'll be my first time playing, so you'll be experienced. I like playing stuff for the first time with my audience. So that's a possibility. You know, I'm still thinking about that. Sonic Origins is coming the end of June, and not sure when, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Revenge of Shredder, I'm definitely interested in that. So I'll keep a lookout for that. If they give a date for it, I'm definitely be into that as well. So that's days coming up on the channel. As far as other projects like Song of the Deep, that'll be finished. We've rolling on that. I just did a video last night. I might do another one today sometime, not sure. But I'm definitely going to try to do the MLB video for my man Good Vibes for coming and joining me last week on the live stream. So but like I said, thank you guys so much for coming here every week and joining me. Like I said, I give updates throughout the week when I go on, because sometimes I'm recording. It's about 9, almost about 10 o'clock in the morning. Like I said, I get off work Saturday sometimes from 8:30 to 3, so I try to do it first thing as soon as I get off. But some Saturdays I gotta work all day, so if that's the case, then it's better for me to do it at night, because my guys are asleep, so I could record while, you know, without no interruptions. But thanks guys. Like I said, thank you so much for being supportive. Enjoy your weekend. Please be safe. Please be safe. There's a lot of things going on in the world. A lot of crazy people out there. I know it's the holiday weekend, but love on one another, man. Like I know that's not, honestly, that's not an easy thing. It's not. There's a lot of bad people out here, but we need more love in the world for sure. And I always believe that, regardless. So just love your fellow man more. Enjoy your holiday, and people that's off, enjoy your holiday weekend. After the day, I'm not off again till I don't even know when. So, but I still maybe try to make the best of it. And like I said, special shout out to my people again, my friend Yvette, definitely, because like I said, you've been, don't ever think you don't mean anything to somebody, because you mean something to me. So if you're watching this, definitely, but I told you this yesterday, but everybody had their moments. I know I had mine. So but with all that being said, thank you. I'm gonna go and get off of here. I don't want to take up too much taping time. Like I said, peace and love always. Thank you guys for supporting the channel, and I'll talk to you guys next week. In fact, I'll probably see you Wednesday. Like I said, I'm gonna do a special blog Wednesday for the NBA Finals. We're just waiting on if it's gonna be the Celtics or the Heat, but the Warriors, I'll be there waiting for them. So we'll preview that from top to bottom, and I'll get my prediction as well. So see you guys, and thanks so much for watching. Peace and love. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you.